Up. Security is on high alert in Florida as former President Donald Trump will be formally arraigned on 37 counts and a federal indictment today in Miami. This is related, of course, to his handling of classified documents after he left office. Legal analyst Karen Conti of Conti & Dolan is here ahead of this historic court date. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's just start with walking us through legally what happens today.
It's an arraignment, which means that the formal reading of the charges will happen. Trump's attorneys could waive that, which they probably will, and he will plead not guilty. There will be sort of parameters set for his release pending trial, so maybe travel restrictions, etc. He will be fingerprinted. He probably will not have a mugshot taken. He probably will not be handcuffed. There will be no cameras in the courtroom, but dates will be set for further proceedings and the exchange of documents between the prosecution and the defense.
So why Florida instead of D.C.? It seems like everything leading up to this was there. And do you think it will make a difference?
Well, the alleged wrongdoing occurred in Florida, and that's Mar-a-Lago, where the documents were taken. So it would be better for the prosecution to have the case go in Washington because that's a more favorable jury pool, a more liberal jury pool for the prosecution. But I think what the idea is they wanted to get the jurisdiction right from the beginning so that there wouldn't be fights and battles over where to try this case, which would further extend the time and cause delays.
Yeah, and when you talk about fights and battles, Donald Trump's allies compare and contrast his case with President Biden, Mike Pence, even Hillary Clinton. What, if anything, makes this unique here?
What makes this unique is the cover-up part of it. If Donald Trump had just returned the documents, I am almost positive that the government would have said, okay, we're done. But he didn't do that. And I urge your viewers to read this indictment. There's not a lot of legalese in it. It's very clear. He knew he took these documents that he was not supposed to take. He knew they were classified. The government asked for them back. He said he didn't have them. That was a lie. He moved them and he ordered other people to move them. He gave back some of the documents, said this is all, and that was not the truth either, and he knew it. And in one case, he showed documents to a third party that contained national security information. So these are serious charges, and had he just complied with what the government asked him to do, this would be a whole different thing.
Yeah, and there's a Trump-appointed judge overseeing the case. I guess the question there is obvious. Is this a conflict of interest?
Well, federal judges are either appointed by a Democrat or a Republican. So if we said every single time we're going to recuse a judge because it was appointed by one party or another, we can't do that. And while she might have prejudices, I don't think there's enough to recuse her. She made a couple of rulings early on in some of the preliminary matters involving this issue, and they were all in favor of Trump, and those were all unanimously overturned by a very conservative appellate court. So I don't think there's going to be a challenge to her unless there's something else that pops up. And I think that it's actually a very good venue for Mr. Trump because it's in Florida, which is where his home is, where it's a conservative jury pool, and with a judge who obviously favors him. So he's got a lot of advantages here.
So there are advantages, but this is also a very serious matter. How serious could this be for Donald Trump, and what comes next in the case?
The charges are very serious, Anita. The Espionage Act, 10 to 20 years, obstruction of justice, obstruction of a proceeding, even false statements to the government is a 10-year sentence. And in federal system, you do 75% of your time. And again, if there's pardons and all those kinds of things, that can always happen down the line. But if Mr. Trump is convicted, there could be significant jail time that would put him in jail for the rest of his life. So this is nothing to be taken lightly.
Well, all eyes will be on what's going on in Miami, I'm sure, for the rest of the day. Karen, thank you so much for being here. You all can always get more information from Karen by contacting her at kconti@contidolanlaw.com. Thank you.